Hey everyone, welcome back to John's Watch. Today I'm taking a look at a new visual novel game called England Exchange. This game was released on May 5th, 2017. The trigger price is $14.99 US or a regional equivalent, and it's developed by Hanabira and published by Hanako Games. So I'll just read the blurb on Steam about this game quickly. As a college student from New York, you've decided to broaden your horizons by spending a semester overseas in England. You'll be living and working in a student hostel with other young people from around the world. Will you find a new purpose in life or end up betrayed and heartbroken? Your choices determine the course of the plot in this romantic comedy visual novel. So I thought this game looked really cool when it came out. I'm pretty excited to be checking it out. Some of you may know I am in fact from England myself, so I'm going to see how well they did their research in this game. I'll see how accurate some of the terms are and stuff like that. Let's start it up. I think you get to choose, you can choose whether you want to be a female or a male, both from New York. We'll play as Flynn. I don't know, how could I possibly roll an R in there? No idea. We're going to, oh, you can actually change his name. Not Flynn, will be John. There you go. Look at that. Fantastic, let's be this guy. This fella. So this is Jin-Soo. I guess we're in New York right now. Tomorrow you're leaving for England. Let's have a moment of silence for our fallen comrade. Fallen comrade? John's going across the ocean, not dying. That's what you think. Haha, cheers! Looks just, actually, that hair is remarkably similar to how my hair looked like a year ago. It's kind of creepy, actually, how similar that hair is. Man. Like, that is the kind of hair I would take if I was trying to make myself in a game. Crazy. We clicked our glasses together. Of course, Jin-Soo was the only one old enough to drink. Nene and I couldn't even walk into most bars, with how strict the ID checks had gotten. At least in casual dining, the waiters generally only carded the person who ordered the drink. Jin-Soo pounded his chest as his fireball lemonade went down. Pwah! You'll be able to drink once you're over there, too. That's true, you can drink it to 18 in England. You should try it. He winked at me. Ha ha ha. Maybe? I've tasted one or two things in my life, but since I'm not supposed to be drinking at all, I've definitely never been drunk. Very wholesome protagonist we've got here. I don't know if getting smashed at bars is the kind of adventure I want. It's very relatable, John. So what adventure do you want? I swirled my non-alcoholic, non-fiery lemonade around in my glass. To be honest, I hadn't thought about it that much. In the rush to pack and get all my documents in order after New Year's, I've been able to ignore what all the preparation was for. I made the decision to travel abroad to England for a semester on impulse, spur of the moment. Sounded like fun, that was all. It's a great place to visit, I'll give you that. Lovely place to visit, not the best place to live. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I felt like I barely knew who I was, to be honest. The idea to take a semester abroad wasn't a new one. It was an almost cliché tactic for broadening one's horizons. But I really did want to discover myself. Even more than that, I wanted to change myself. I'd always been a little bit shy, and that sometimes made me seem standoffish. Holy shit, this game is fucking speaking to me. I kind of like, IRL, I moved from being shy to just never wanting to talk to people ever because I just didn't enjoy it. And that does make me come across as a bit of an asshole. Man, this fucking game. How do they know me? I didn't have a lot of close friends. I'd certainly never had a romantic relationship. I couldn't approach strangers, even just to ask for directions. Okay, now it's kind of a bit off. And when it came to pressure, I don't know. Caved. That's so like you. You're spending half a year of your life on this trip. Shouldn't you have a goal in mind? Technically, a semester's only a third of a year. Fuck. Not everyone has to have a goal. They can just go with the flow. And end up like you? No, he's better than that. The two glared at each other, their year-long rivalry coming to a boil. Guys, please. Oh, speaking of goals, when are you going to get yourself a girlfriend? Not this again. I will mention that this is one of the only visual novels on Steam where you can go for same-sex relationships if you want. Pretty cool that you can go for whatever. God, I think there's like 10 choices or something in this. Crazy. Oh, not this again. It's not really that simple, you know? You act like I can get any girl I want just by walking up to her. Or boy. Or boy. I'm not really sure which one would be harder for me to pick up. I'm not exactly a babe magnet. I can't just make a relationship happen. That's what they always say, until they find someone they want to date. Fine, so I'll just wait until she comes along. No, you'll go out and get her. You don't even give the girls in front of you a chance. Or guys. Okay, so they're both into Jon, apparently. Or guys. Well, I don't have to explain myself to you. Fuck you guys. I turned my head as Nene fumed. Don't you do that to me. Whoa, it's his last day in the States and I want to see him make it to tomorrow. I can't wait to watch him eat his words. She sat back in her chair and Jin Su grinned at me. It's the perfect time to experiment anyway. You're there for a whole semester and then you're gone. So if it turns out that guys aren't your thing, you can end it and you'll never have to worry about running into him again. I know you're going to look for adventure, but other people are the best adventure you'll ever get. So why not? What's the worst that can happen? What was the worst that could happen? You could die. Getting arrested, then deported and banned from entering England ever again, probably. But even then, at least it'd be a clean break. I hope he can live his life just like the TV show Fresh Meat. If you've never seen Fresh Meat, whew, pinnacle of English television. Pretty much, could even be better than The In-Betweeners. I know, bold claim, but Fresh Meat's fantastic. Go watch it. No matter how big New York City was, you always seemed to run into exactly who you least wanted to see. But in England, you never want to see anyone. Not to mention they have some really nice accents, and some really shit accents. Liverpool? I mean, no offense, but not the greatest accent. Maybe? Okay, how's that? I'll give you a maybe. Nene and Jin Su high-fived, and I wondered how long they'd been planning this attack. Be sure to tell me everything about her. Or him. Or him. Far too soon the night ended. I rode the subway back to the Bronx and went home. Last time I'd be home for nearly half a year. Waking up at 6 was tomorrow. 8 hours of flying was tomorrow. England was tomorrow. And maybe, even, a new me was tomorrow. What the heck had I gotten myself into? Sighing, I tried to distance myself from my thoughts. England, huh? Let's hope something changes. January 4th. To January 5th! The day changed! Oh, I guess we're here. Oh, you know how you can tell we're here? Because of the weather. Classic English weather. I got off the airplane, immediately feeling disoriented. Because they're all walking on the wrong side, aren't they? I was in another country. But to be honest, it didn't look much different from the US. It was a little less crowded than JFK, but the architecture at Heathrow Airport felt a lot like home. The only real difference was the accents. I'd expected everyone to sound like BBC announcers. There was such a mix, from the Scottish custom agents to the newspaper seller who I think was Jamaican or something. It really brought home how much England was part of Europe. Whoa! Whoa there! I don't know if you heard about a little thing called Brexit. I mean, technically, yes, England is still part of Europe right now, but not for much longer. People came here from everywhere. Came, yes, they used to. Whatever. I made my way through. I wonder when they made this, actually. Huh. I wonder if they thought about that. I made my way through customs and out into the London air. It was cloudy, as I suppose I could expect from now on, and the January winds were chilly. There was no snow on the streets. I'd been warned that it almost never snowed in London, unlike NYC. It did look damp, though, and grey. Very grey. I waited by the cab stop for a driver to be free. He threw my suitcase into his trunk and off we went. On the wrong side of the road. To distract myself from my sense of impending doom, I envisioned the hostel I'd be staying at. I'd be doing a work, study, travel kind of program. The hostel provided my room and partial board, as well as a part-time job from which they kept a share of the pay. It was all connected to a local university through some kind of deal, so I could take classes there. The program wasn't free, but because of the work portion it actually came out cheaper than the semester of normal classes back in NYC would. As long as I didn't flunk out and get sent home, my parents would be happy. It was a cramped, quiet ride through the streets. It didn't take long until we were surrounded by tall, older-looking buildings made of stone. Different styles of architecture mingled with one another, highly modernized buildings next to grandiose structures that looked like they had housed nobility in their better days. Hordes of Londoners with grim expressions pushed their way through the streets. I'd heard the British were more polite and well-mannered than us, less likely to show their emotions, more intelligent, better in every way basically. But London just looked like a slightly prettier New York. America as I knew it mostly came from the English only a few hundred years ago. Surely the cultural differences weren't that big a deal. They wouldn't think of me as just a dumb American, would they? Possibly. Before I could ponder this too much, the cab came to a sudden halt. The One hostel. Cab driver got out and grabbed my bags, but not before pointing to a machine on the back of the seat in front of me to run my cards through. I swiped one. Approval denied. What? Maybe that card doesn't work here. Trying to quell my rising panic, I grabbed another card and ran it through. Card read error. You've got to be kidding me, I didn't have any other cards. The cabbie was standing outside the hostel with my bags, tapping a foot impatiently. I crawled out the car and dug through my carry-on. Trembling, I held out 4 $20 bills. American bills. What? I can't accept foreign currency. I'm sorry, but my cards aren't working, sir. Did he not tell your bank you were going out of the country? Is that something you have to do? You stupid Americans, you. Whoa, calm down there, said a guy. A man with dark brown hair and a kind face appeared in front of me, having just come from the hostel entrance. What seems to be the problem here? He glanced at the money in my hands and nodded. Hand me your dollars, I'll cover your fare. Fine, as long as someone pays, I don't care who. His accent's changed like a lot, that's classic London though. The cabbie showed him the card machine and he bent down to pay. Thank you. Through my terror I began to stutter, but the man just waved his hand. Don't worry about it, you aren't the first person this has happened to. I'm not, thank goodness. Well, most people are smarter than take a cab they can't pay for, but, you know. He finished paying and the cabbie jumped into his car, slammed the door and revved off down the street. I'm Danny, by the way. You must be one of our new arrivals. Yes, I'm John. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet him indeed. I'll grab your bags. Why don't you come in? I can show you around. Thanks. The outside of the One hostel seemed almost promising. It was a medium-sized 2-floor building and the small yard leading up to the front door was fairly well maintained. Danny hoisted my suitcase and pushed through the front door of my new home. I followed behind him. Welcome home! The front room was a small kind of entryway with 2 doors leading out on either side of me and a staircase leading out of sight. The walls weren't as clean as I would have liked. A small desk sat next to the doorway where Danny quickly set my suitcase and reached for some paperwork. Is there blood on that wall over there? Holy shit. Let's see, John. Here you are, it looks like you'll be working at the Crafty Crown. That's the pub next door. A pub? A bar that serves food, which is what you'll probably be doing. All the rest of your board and lodging seems to be sorted. Well, I'll give you a quick run of the house rules, shall I? There's 7 of us at the moment who board here regularly, and a couple of extra rooms for overnights and short-term lets, but they're not often used. So with you here, there'll be 8 of us in total. Provided James hasn't hidden someone in the attic like in that old novel. Awkward silence. He laughed, but I stared at him confused. Just laugh. I wasn't totally sure what to do, but he seemed to be telling a joke, so... Ha 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 ha! I hope that didn't sound fake. Anyway, we have a kitchen and cafeteria. There's communal food in the fridge, and sometimes people make meals that others can share and we eat together. I don't think anyone announced it though, so you gotta come in on time. Just aim for whenever Ashley's not at work. She loves to cook for us. The living room is shared space. We all work together to keep things neat and tidy as well, so clean up after yourself. Don't leave stuff laying about. Quiet time after 10 o'clock also. Most of us are students and we need our sleep to keep up with classes. Pfft, yeah, right. To be honest, I don't actually know what all the others are here for. There's some girl who I see in the halls sometimes. I haven't even officially met her, but I've not seen her at uni. Don't know what she's doing. Anyways, Peggy and I especially need quiet after hours. No loud music and all that. Well, I guess you'll be staying up too late considering what your work schedule will likely be like. My what? Fuck. You'll be able to set most things yourself, however. What classes you take, what you do with your spare time, extra work shifts to pick up, who you befriend. You get to do whatever you want, but be careful too. It means you can't blame anyone else if things don't go the way you want them to. You're starting to sound like a parent lecturing their child on the first day of college, but I bit my tongue. Before he could continue, a rather scruffy man came in through the front door behind me. coffee stains. At least I hope they were coffee stains. Dotted his shirt, and I swear there were breadcrumbs in the corner of his mouth. He looked from me to Danny, nodded, and started climbing the stairs up. That's James. He doesn't like having much to do with us, to be honest, so give him his space. Try not to get on his bad side. I nodded. So what is there to do for fun around here? Anything in particular I should see or do? Put a hand to his chin. Well, what do you want to do? What do you want to get out of this trip here? You can study hard and get ahead, or you can go out partying every night and get trashed. We'll remember, but unless you add us on social media, no one back home will know. We won't be able to tag you in pictures. Good thing I stayed far away from that sort of thing. I guess you could check out the stereotypical landmarks, the Monument and the Eye and Big Ben and all that. I'd recommend just wandering around the city. I would not recommend just wandering around London. With a day travel card you can go wherever you like. London's crammed full of sights most tourists miss because they're too busy trying to make the Queen's Guards laugh. Oh, I've got a soccer team here that I run with the school. You can come to tryouts and see if that's a thing you want to do. Soccer tryouts? I mean, I never really did sports that much at home. They weren't much my style, but maybe now is a good time to change that. It would definitely mean I'd get more time hanging out with Danny. Suddenly there was a distant dull thudding noise. Then the door to my right flew open. Oh, here comes Angelo. A short, sullen young man entered the room and stood there staring at me. Who are you? He's a new boarder. Name's Jon. He'll be staying here for the spring semester. His eyes narrowed slightly, but that was all the greeting he offered. Angela is one of our maids. I'm not a maid, I'm a housekeeper. Look, it's not normal for me to be doing this kind of work. There's a misunderstanding, capiche? They thought my name was Angela, not Angelo. So they assigned me as if I were a woman. He changed to Scottish halfway through there, classic. Surely the assignments were random. England wasn't medieval, there's no reason why only women should work in housekeeping. Was this kid really old enough to be employed in this kind of program? It looked like he might still be in high school. And seemed to think like a high school boy too. Well, it's nice to meet you. I held my hand out for him to shake and he took it, gripping my hand like iron. Nice to meet you too. He nodded once and continued past into another room. Don't mind Angelo, he's got a bit of a temper and maybe a bit of a bleeding heart, but he's a good guy deep down. And try not to take his views too personally. He's had a strange upbringing. I think being here will be good for him. Isn't he a little young to be around here? Young? No, he's 19. 19? Seriously? Ha, I was surprised too. He's got a baby face. Don't mention it to him that you thought he was so young though. He'll get offended. He likes to be manly, that one. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to leave the video there for now. Didn't get to meet a single girl so far. Well, I guess we met Nene back in America. I wonder if I guess she's probably an option. You could just like not date anyone in England and then go back and date her. Met a lot of dudes though, so that's great. It looks like it is fairly short. There's one review on Steam where someone said they beat it 3 times and they've got 3 hours on record. I don't know if that's right, like maybe an hour and a half for a run. Yeah, it looks like there's 8 possible love interests to pursue. I'd guess there's like slightly more endings. You might get like bad endings and stuff like that. Anyway, it looks like a pretty decent game, honestly. Reasonably priced at 15 bucks. It's called England Exchange. Thank you guys very much for watching. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!